Hey guys, how's it going? Gonna bring you an arena run today. My account is entirely free to play, so I want to show you guys how to get good at arena, how to build up a collection, how to win some games. So, first pick here, pretty easy counterspell. I really like that card in arena, super strong. Easy Yeti here. I don't like the Rockjaw. Frost Nova is okay, but Berserker can be really good, so we're gonna pick that up here for a third card. And Shattered Sun Cleric, always good in arena. Very easy polymorph, great card. Snow Chugger, really strong. I want this Cult Master, but it's going to be Duplicate. Love Cult Master in arena, it can win games by itself, but so can Duplicate, costs less mana, it's a secret. So we're going to pick that up here. Too early to go for Iceland, so we only have one freeze. Cog Master here, we only have the one mech. And it's a 1-drop, and it's okay, but I'll pick up Mirror Entity. Mirror Entity's pretty good. Easy Armani Berserker. Could argue Abusive Sergeant, but I'm not going to take it. Easy Kodo here. This pick can be really tricky. You can take any of these cards. I end up going with the Sheep because I love having early board clear. Make sure we can get to those Flame Strikes and actually get to that part of the game. I'm going to pick up second Polymorph here. Really good. It's close with Stormwind Champion, but gonna pick it up. Yeti. Pretty easy Flame Cannon here. Great early removal spell. Spider Tank's amazing. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Always really strong in Arena Mage. Acolyte of Pain for some card draws. We don't really have any of that yet. Can use it here. Cone of Cold. I think that could be Frost Nova. I don't really like Healer a lot of the time. Love Frost Elemental, super strong card. I can swing games, so pretty good too. First sick drop, so give us some late game. I mean, clearly Southsea Cap. No, we're gonna go with Pyroblast here. Definitely gonna go with the Pyroblast. Flame Strike. Not gonna take the third Polymorph. Second Sorcerer's Apprentice is gonna be better. We have a couple spells already, some secrets, so it does synergize pretty well with our deck. Really strong with Flame Cannon into another 2-drop is a play that's pretty awesome in arena. And there's another Flame Cannon. You could take Mana Worm here, but I don't think so. I'd just go with Flame Cannon. I think it's a second Berserker here. Or, no, actually, I'm pretty sure I pick up the Reckless Rocketeer. Because I don't have any Fireballs yet, and we're 23 cards in, so I do need something to finish them off outside of Pyroblast, or at least bring them into Pyroblast range, is the thinking, so we'll pick that up. I end up picking Stormwind Champion here, some more late game. I could have taken Micro Machine, but we have a bunch of 2-drops already. Easy Snow Chugger, the other 2 cards are not very good, you don't really want to pick them up in Mage. Arcane Intellect here, definitely an argument to be made for Earthen Ring Farseer. The heal's great. It's a really strong 3-drop. Don't have a lot of 3-drops for minions right yet, so I check that and I'm like, nah. But we do need card draw in this deck pretty badly. Like, we only have the Acolyte at this point, and we're almost done the deck, so I picked that card up. Wolf Rider's really strong. Nice burst card, get 3 damage down or trade for something. The third Flame Cannon, so Flame Cannon's super strong. I kind of want the Abusive here to set up some early trades, but you can't really pass on Flame Cannon. And I thought about Fell Reaver here. I'm still not too sure about that card. Shade is really solid. Don't really have enough card draw to be wanting to play Mountain Giant, so that could end up getting stuck in her hand pretty easily. So we pick up the Shade here, which is, is pretty good. This deck is nothing special. It's an okay deck, but I still got 7 wins with it, so, I mean, just to show you guys, like, you don't have to have a ridiculous deck every time to get 7 wins. Like, a lot of it's how well you play it. This deck is solid. I mean, it has a, decent mid-rangey game. We have Pyroblast to finish them off. It's not the worst, but, I mean, it's definitely not the best Mage deck I've ever had. I'd probably rate it, tier 2 to 2.5, probably. If it had, a Fireball or 2, maybe it would be a solid tier 2, maybe even, a tier 1.5 deck. But without the Fireballs, it's hard to place it higher up on the tier list. So we get Rogue for our first matchup. Not too bad here. The opener, I believe I end up keeping Shattered Sun. No, I decided to mull it all. That's fine too. Decent opener. Berserker's really, really good. Love that card in Arena. It either gets to trade with your 2-drop, or you deal a bunch of damage with it, and you can possibly trade into something else by just pinging it and hitting for 5. Definitely going to trade with that Worgen here. I don't want to get greedy. It's so dangerous to get greedy in Arena, because a lot of the time, all it takes is one poorly played turn, and the entire game can just swing around and kill you pretty quick. So, you'll see that later on in some of my losses. Like, in Arena, it's very obvious, like, what little mistakes you make, and how it could have completely changed the game if you didn't make those mistakes. So he clears it up like I thought he would. Play the Acolyte of Pain. Probably don't have time to start pinging it off here, because we have 2 Yetis in hand, and we definitely want to get Yetis down. Since I have the Pyroblast already, I want to make that rogue take as much face damage as I possibly can. So I'm totally fine if he gets to clear my Yetis and Frost Elementals, whatever, as long as he's attacking it with his dagger. Because it'll bring him low really, really fast. So he plays his Shieldmaster here. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to do. There's this Yeti. Very simple play here. I mean, yeah, he gets to kill my guy, but he also wastes an attack, and I get to draw a card off it. So he doesn't gain a whole lot. Plus, my Yeti can come back at it the next turn and kill it, because it's only going to have 4 health. So, pretty solid. Once again, it's important to not get really greedy in Arena, I find. Like, if you start pinging there and drawing cards, and you can just put the game in a scenario where you just can't come back. I mean, so I'd rather just, like I said, I'm trying to get him to trade into my stuff with his dagger, because we have Pyroblast, and that's a really easy way to finish the game. And most people don't play around in Arena, especially at 0 wins decks. So this ends up being pretty good for us here. Would have been a little better if I cleared this engine with the Flame Cannon, but that's fine. Flame Cannon's so good. I really, really like that card. It can be pretty awkward later if you're behind, but like, it's really good at trading in the mid game and early game, because they don't have too many minions anyway, so your odds of hitting the one that you really want to hit is really good. So I just play Frost Elemental here. I could have played Yeti and Apprentice as well. So that's a little bit susceptible though if he has Blade Flurry to clear up my board. Either play would have been fine. I like Frost Elemental just because it gives me a little bit of extra power to clear out something that he plays here. So it doesn't force me to polymorph it. Yeah, again, highlighting the Pyroblast, that's my game plan here. As soon as I see Rogue and I see Pyroblast in my opening hand, I'm going to craft the entire game around winning with Pyroblast. Such a strong card here. So he just put a ton of power onto the board. That makes me immediately think that he's going to try to rush us down. He could play some deadly poisons, or there's a lot of different ways now in Rogue to boost your weapon power. The combo card that gives a minion 3 attack and your weapon 3 attack. The mech that boosts it by 1. So I'm expecting to make a really big weapon here, just the way he played that turn. He's giving me a free Pyromancer. And he's already down on cards, so he's kind of committed to going face really, really early, which is great for us, because we do have Flame Strikes, we have Flame Cannons, we have Polymorphs, we have the Explosive Sheep already. Like, we can definitely stop him from killing us. Also, lots of great mid-rangey cards, like Yeti and Gurabashi Berserker, things like that. Just sticky minions. I'm okay with him trading his 5-3 here, because we're up a bunch of cards, and I'm pretty sure, like I already said before, I think he's just going to go face. Like, he's committed to that strategy. This is pretty good for us here. It's the good old Captain Greenskin, occasionally okay. It was pretty okay here. I mean, it's fine. Draw the second Polymorph, so pretty easy decision to just Polymorph this one. Not very hard to figure that out. Don't really have any other way of dealing with it, so Need to clear it.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Let me clear it up here. So for my account, like I said previously, it is free to play entirely. I don't have all the cards from the original expansion, but I do have most of them. I don't think I'm missing any epics anymore. I am missing quite a few legendaries, but that's okay. You can get around playing with legendaries a lot of the time. There's only a couple of really specific ones that you want to get for sure. So I've been playing since closed beta as well, so I've been playing a while. I haven't had a lot of time to build up that collection, but you guys can too. Now's a great time. Really great time to build up a collection because GvG Arena is new again. All those people who have all that experience playing in the old arena, you have a little bit fair time against them now. So, great time to play. The meta's not that slow, so like I said before, this guy just started to go face. I thought he was going to do that, expected that, so not too surprised here. What I do here doesn't matter that much. I mean, we're going to attack that Murloc for sure. Let's play Spider Tank.
I wonder.
Not a whole lot going on. But yeah, GvG Arena, perfect time for you guys to get into Arena. Very good time. Especially if you're newer and you're struggling a bit in the old arena. People had that arena format figured out pretty good because it had been like that for a very long time. I mean, Nax added a few cards, not really a whole lot to change it up a bit. I mean, a couple additions. So, but GvG adds tons of new stuff. I think it's a lot easier to win arena games now. A lot easier to get past, 5 wins and 7 wins. You definitely want to aim to get 5 wins pretty consistently if you can, and get to at least 7 wins once every 3 or 4 runs. If you do that, you'll be able to build up a collection pretty quickly, and it's not too bad right now with GvG being new. So, Mage is definitely awesome. It got better. It was already super strong and got better in GvG because Goblin Blast Mage is an insane card. 4 mana 5/4, and you get 4 damage out of it. It's crazy how good that card is. That's like a one-sided Mad Bomber just against your opponent. I mean, it's so strong. So this game's over. I know it's over. That's why I'm just trying to talk to other things here. There's really nothing left to say here. I mean, he's gonna get Pyroblasted, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it. So, yeah, assassinates Kodo. He's pretty close to killing us there. I mean, just didn't quite make it. So, Power Blast, finish him off. Pretty easy. Nice first win to pick up. Kind of a grindy game though. Normally they're shorter. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So our second game here, we get to play against Paladin. Always fun playing against Paladin. Super strong class in Arena. Very recommended. Pretty okay opener here. I just decided to keep all these cards, I think. We do have a lot of high casting cards in our deck, so we gotta be careful about mulling away stuff that doesn't cost that much mana. Flame Cannon, decent draw. Love having Snow Chugger. Nice having another early minion for Mage. It's also a mech and it freezes. It's all around great card for this deck. I don't think those guys are good. The ones that gain attack off spells. I'm not a big fan. That one's certainly not good. But the other one, maybe there's an argument. 4 mana, 3/5 or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been a fan of those cards. Very easy to play around, and lots of the time when you play a spell, it's to just kill that minion, so you don't get anything out of it most of the time. Doesn't really make the game awkward for your opponent. It's kind of a useless effect. Maybe there's different classes though that you can do a little bit better with it. plays ship cannon, so probably means he has a pirate in hand. I don't want to get pirated and then he kills my guy for free. So we're gonna remove that ship's cannon right away. Just holding on to the flame cannon here. I could have done that too, to kill one of them and freeze the other one. But if we don't get the ship's cannon and then he ends up pinging our guy, it's just, that's not very good. So he gets a Coghammer. That card's really good in Paladin. That is super strong in Arena. He decides to freeze himself. Like if that was another minion or a 3-attack minion, he's so much stronger here. Let's play Shade. Don't really care. Ping, Flame Cannon next turn, or trade with the Shade. They have a lot of options. Plays the good old turtle. So we're doing pretty good here. I mean, if he played a high power minion there, we might have been in some trouble because he already has a Divine Shield taunt, he has a weapon, so he has a lot of room to just sit behind stuff and keep hitting us with a high power minion. But turtle is not that. So, very pretty fortunate for us. Yeah, draw some cards here. So he's gonna attack kill our guy. I'm not liking too bad this game. Pretty decent hand. So it's looking pretty good. Against Paladin, a lot of the times they're gonna beat you. Like most Paladin decks don't go hyper late game. A lot of them like to be pretty aggressive. This guy looks like he's playing more of a late game version. I think the deck that's more likely to be mine is like an all-in aggressive. You know, early Divine Shields, kind of cheesy. You know, kill you very early deck, which he's not playing. So kind of happy about that. Like he's put very little power on the board for how much money, how much mana he has spent. So it could have been a lot worse for us. If he put more power on the board like that turtle, we could be down to, you know, much lower light total. And he's probably committed because of the way his deck's played to trade with our stuff. So hammer time.
Reporting for duty.
Now, for some of you, this game may look kind of bad. I have no idea why he didn't decide to clear my guy out there. That was pretty awful of him. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. He has the weapon. He's at 25.
Cleanse the sun well.
Opens up for me to clear his turtle here. Don't want him to Blessings of King's Head. Don't have any silence in this deck, so that can be pretty bad. I'm just gonna keep playing stuff. Once again, he has no power on the board. So even though he has board advantage because he gets to play first and he has stuff already, he's not doing anything with it. So he's not advancing his game state by lowering our life total or anything. And this works out really well for us. I should just clear into our stuff for whatever reason. So he's pretty confident he has a better late game. I'm not really convinced. We have a pretty good late game with this deck. Also have Pyroblast. Super easy to finish people off with that. So he plays a Spectral Knight here. This turn can be really tricky. This would be one of the turns you could misplay and lose the game. You can play Stormwind Champion here. Don't think you want to do that. You get Flame Cannon and Wolf Rider to clear the Spectral Knight. Don't really think you want to do that. Gurabashi is just a pretty solid play here. I'm gonna ping it just in case he tries to get some damage in with the Spectral Knight, so it's not for free. Gurabashi's really big, sticky minion. 7 health is a lot. Very hard to deal with. Plus he gets bigger every time you hit him, so you can't just kind of chip away at him. He has a silence here. Still pretty good. I mean, it's 2-6, it's not going away. So ends up working out here. Reporting for duty. that was an Avenge, it could be pretty good. It ends up not being an Avenge. It's a get down, so you can deal with that.
Get down!
If this guy would have had a little bit more aggressive minions, like that turtle was so bad. If he had any other 4-drop there, or even like a 2-drop with more power, this game could have been very different. I think he would have probably been able to get us low enough to just pressure our life total, and then we couldn't really do whatever we want anymore. So, not very good. He also decides to just keep trading into my stuff, even when he has pressure and advantage, which is an easy trap to fall into in Arena. Very easy to fall into because you're so used to trading all the time, but you have to realize when you're ahead and your opponent absolutely has to clear your stuff. So now he's finally decided to go face, because he's got his flame cannon thingy. But we have polymorph, so whatever. Blessing of Wisdom, okay. Easiest polymorph ever. Not a hard decision. Could play Stormwind here. Nah, I don't think so. We're just gonna clear this stuff. Decide to use the flame cannon. Or not. No, we'll just use the Wolf Rider. Keep the flame cannon. Makes sense. So now, he's in a lot of trouble. He went from having almost complete control of this game to no control. He's got to hit like Consecrate right now. He doesn't know we have the Stormwind champion. That's going to be really, really strong. Have the Pyroblast already. So very easy to see like games completely swing around in one turn in Arena. It's pretty common.
Did someone say bomb?
Bomb away. Kills his own guy. Don't know why he played that first. Gets both of my 1-power minions, so ends up being okay. But we get double Yeti. Yeah, pretty lucky there with that bomber. Don't really care. Glad I saved that flame cannon now instead of using it and saving the Wolf Rider. Pretty awesome here. Kill that, play some Yeti, pass the turn. Continue to have board pressure here. Continue to have inevitability with my Pyroblast. Have the Polymorph too. If he plays anything that we really hate, easy to get rid of. Really in a lot of control of this game. And again, I'm pretty confident he's going for the more late game Paladin, so don't have to worry about that burst. He could have it, but there's not really anything we can do about it anyways. So, play like he doesn't, expect to win. More flame cannon, always good. So we just clear out his stuff here again. Good time to play this guy.
The might of Stormwind!
Pretty strong position here. Pretty strong position. Again, that Pyroblast. Love Pyroblast in arena decks like this for Mage. We don't have any fireballs. You really need something to finish them off. It's such a perfect card. No, there's that big minion we were talking about for the Polymorph.
You love my new recipe.
He should have just attacked my Yeti there. He doesn't know I had Pyroblast, but that's okay. At this point, pretty confident this game's over at this right now, so not much else to say. This is a game he probably could have won. Like, if he went back through his plays, I'm not sure what he had in his hand at the exact time. If he played differently, this is definitely a winnable game for him. But he's dead here, so we're gonna Pyroblast him, move on to the next game. Yeah, I don't think my deck's anything special. Also didn't drop Flame Strike this game, so yeah, he definitely could have won.
Well played.
Not how it went down. So, we're on the next one here. Get to play against some Shaman here. I love Shaman in GvG. A deck that already had some great removal spells and direct damage spells got an amazing one in Crackle at 3 to 6 damage for 2 mana. With spell power, 4 to 7. Whew, I love that card. Already made some pretty sick Shaman decks with the Crackle. Very nice addition to that overall Shaman deck. So, decent opener in this game. We don't coin out the Apprentice here because we want to coin out Yeti. If you have coin and Yeti in hand and you have something to do on turn 2, you definitely want to save that coin. Turn 3 Yeti, super strong. Hard to deal with, really annoying. That's a play that can just win you the game. They don't deal with it. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. Awesome start for us here. Just totems up. Yeti. I could have saved the coin here if I wanted to, but I just want the Yeti. This is going to force out some removal here. Hopefully 2 spells, or 1 really good spell. So, gotta love that Yeti. Pretty sure he ends up hexing it here, which is awesome. Trading Yeti for Hex, and we have Stormwind Champion in our hand. Is always good. Probably doesn't have more than 1 Hex, so to get rid of it this early, really helpful. But yeah, definitely love Shaman in new GvG. It's so good. You can kind of build like Mage now if you want like a bursty deck, because you have enough cards. You have Lightning Bolt, you have Crackle, you have Lava Burst, you know, Flame Tongue Totems, Bloodlust. Bloodlust is great in Arena. I don't know why people don't draft that card more often. I like to have at least 1 in all my Shaman decks because it gives you insane comeback potential in games that you have no business winning. You can finish out with Bloodlust, maybe you have a minion with Wind Fury, you give guys Wind Fury, and you just finish them off. So Shaman, definitely an awesome class. Noyo drawn. Spamming a lot of totems here. He's not getting anywhere with them though. He's not even getting to build like temple with them or anything. So. Not too annoying. Down comes the Berserker. I think he plays Sunwalker here, and I Polymorph pretty quick. Easy decision to make. Takes him a long time to make this play.
Truth is my shield.
So he plays it. Other option would have been to Cone of Cold here and then ping my guy and attack into it. But I don't really want to give him a free 2 for 1, especially when we have all this board pressure. He's kind of silly. Opting to ping here instead of attacking into it to use that health. We know if we got the Lightning Storm. So we're in a pretty good position here. Definitely in position to win this game. El Clockwork Gigante. I don't like that card at all. I think that card is really bad in Arena. Definitely worse than Molten Giant. I think Molten Giant's really bad in Arena. Lots of people play Molten Giant, but I don't think people get that most of the time when you're at a low life total to a point where Molten Giant's, oh, look at how early I get to play this Molten Giant. You're just dead because you're at such a low life total. So, I've almost never seen Molten Giant do well in Arena. I think it's really bad.
Ready, sir.
Mountain Giant can be okay if you have the card draw to support it. Clockwork Giant, I picked that card up in my first GvG Arena run, and it got stuck in my hand so often because there's so many Arena decks that just, they don't care about card advantage, they just zerg you to death. Just throw everything at you over and over and over again. So, you'll never be able to play Clockwork Giant with those kind of decks, and you have to have it in your opener if you have any shot of playing it. So, I'm not a fan of that card in Arena. That card could be insane and constructed. Like, if there's a meta game wherever, you know, tons and tons of handlock, that card will destroy handlock. Oh my god, that's brutal. It basically Mountain Giant for you. You don't even have to pay the mana to draw the cards. And you get to build your own board. But we'll see if that day comes. Has to be a lot of handlock for that. Maybe Freeze Mage too. Could be really good against Freeze Mage. But in Arena, not a fan. So he continues to try to build a bit of a board here. I mean, not a whole lot to say when we're super far ahead in this game. I have 30 life still. And he plays 7/7. Yeah, a lot of different options here. I really debate just going face, but I don't have Pyroblast yet, so I'm not super comfortable doing that. That's one way we can let him get back in the game, because he does have an 8/7. So we do have to respect that a little bit. I end up drawing here, because I'm not 100%. Now we see the Pyroblast. So, now our decision is much easier to make. If you wanted to play really, really safe, you could, for sure, trade into his guys here. I didn't think it was necessary. We're at 30 life. So he'd need, like, Wind Fury, Rock Biter, and quite a assortment of things. I think he probably would have already played if he had them. So probably needs a top deck too. I think our odds of losing here are just so low. I always do that though. When I make a play like this, I start calculating it out. Like, okay, so what does he have here? What does he need to kill me? And I start worrying, oh, he's got Bloodlust and Wind Fury and all this stuff that people just don't have. So, pretty easy to pick up this game here. I don't think his Shaman deck was all that great. We saw one Lightning Bolt, I think. Oh, there's that Rock Bite here. He decides to kill himself. Honorable way to go out. Gotta respect that. And yeah. Coasting along really good now. 3 wins in a row, I think. Starting at 3-0. So, this is our first loss, I'm pretty sure, against this Paladin deck. The game's decided super early, so I can tell you here. Like I said, in Arena, when you go back a lot of the time, you start thinking about it, it's really easy to pinpoint where you went horribly wrong, and how the game could have been completely different. Pretty sure that's this game here. Could be wrong. It is against a Paladin, and it is pretty early. So.
Well met.
That's why I also think like Arena's really good for learning how to play this game, even if you apply stuff to Constructed, because it's a lot easier to find your mistakes if you're being really honest with yourself. It's not too hard to find out where you went wrong in your games. You do lose RNG just like the other game modes, of course, especially up at the higher ranks. Decks are better and cards are crazier. So here's where we went wrong. Needed to trade into this so they don't play the 2/2 that gives other minions Divine Shield. And that cost us the entire game here. We lose all the board positions. I had 2 drops too, so I could have easily traded into this here. I needed to play around that card because that card is absolutely backbreaking. That will destroy us. There's the Archer Protector, and that's the game. Pretty unfortunate. But you can see how easy it is to make one mistake in Arena and then just get crushed. We never get back into this game at all. Because we got that insane trade. It just makes his board way too good, gives him a 2-for-1, and he has board advantage. Here comes a True Silver, and I mean, that's it, folks. So, important to realize, you know, be honest with yourself, realize when you make mistakes. I needed to trade there, 100%. This game's my fault. Can't blame it on RNG or anything else. I screwed up, and that's it. But that's okay. I mean, you're going to screw up occasionally. And definitely helps to remember for the future, though, to do this kind of stuff. Because we don't even get to play this game if we made that mistake.
Reporting for duty.
Paladin, really annoying class in Arena. I feel like it's really RNG too, based on how you sequence your opening cards and what your opponent has against you. It's pretty crazy what kind of starts you can get. And it's really hard to play around everything, because there's so many different things Paladin can have early to just crush you. The True Silver, the Argent Protector, the Get Down, Secret, Avenge, all kinds of stuff. And this is super unfortunate. For a deck with 2 polymorphs, you never end up drawing any of them here to clear that guy. That might have got us back into this game, but we're still going back to that play where I didn't clear his guy. I mean, we could have had board position here, and then we could have cleared it, or froze it, or done something, you know, that's pretty relevant here, but we don't. And he's got True Silver, and he's ahead, so pretty much nothing I can do here. Stuck for waiting for Polymorph. And even then, I mean, I expect him to have more stuff.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
I mean, some people would look back at this game and go, oh, I didn't draw Polymorph, so I lost. Like, no, you didn't trade turn 2, so you lost Argent Protector. That's where you lost the game. That's another thing you definitely have to learn in Hearthstone and card games in general, is to figure out what you're actually losing to. Not what kills you or what looks flashy or big, but the play that really matters. I mean, sure, that's nice with the Divine Shield and the Blessing of Kings, but the only reason he was able to do that is because he had board position in the first place, board advantage. So if he didn't have board advantage, we could have just cleared it pretty easily with our own minions, so we get to attack first. And I know I did here at this point, so I just start doing whatever. I was a little salty at the time about not drawing Polymorph ever, but it probably wouldn't have mattered. And I also realized pretty quickly that I screwed up really big against that Argent Protector. But that's okay. I mean, throughout this arena run, like, you can see definitely, oh, I could have won more games. Like, I still got to 7 wins with this deck, and this is a game that could have been completely different. I could have got a chance to play it, and maybe we could have got more wins. But, yeah, learn from your mistakes. I'm just squelching him here because I don't want him to spend emotions well played and all that stuff. Well, that's okay. Yeah, you know, you learn and you move on. And move on to the next one here. More Paladin here, so eager not to lose to the exact same thing I lost to last time.
You asked for it.
Going to that game like, oh, I'm gonna trade turn 2, 100% here. Not okay opener. Just decided to keep the Acolyte. Could have kept the Kodo if I wanted to. We do have the coin, so it does allow it to go out earlier. Coin Yeti, said, always super strong. Could quit the Shade, but meh. I do decide to go Snow Jugger here, which is pretty aggressive. Mostly because I think that Secret's, if it's a get down, I want to get rid of it right away. I don't want that sitting there. That's pretty much 100% why I make that play. Turns out it's not. It's Avenge. So, kind of unfortunate, but we move past it. I think Avenge is, I mean, you can be okay here, especially if we're ahead. So, it's not that bad. But get down, and then if they get the first minion out, you can have a similar repeat to what happened in the last game I just played. You just get completely wrecked. Just absolutely destroyed. If they get ahead, play minions, you know, he plays the 4-3, I don't have anything on board, and just the game becomes a complete mess, and you're just playing from behind the whole game. So I wanted to avoid that this game.
What to do?
Play Shade here. Not sure from a construction standpoint if I like these Death Rattle hate cards, the one that gets bigger and has taunt. He has both of them here, the little Exorcist. The other one that deals damage to all of them. I don't know if I'm a fan. Like, if your opponent isn't playing a lot of Death Rattles, I mean, you're just kind of wasting card slots. But they are insane if they are playing Death Rattles. I don't know. Seems really RNG heavy. So we know that's Avenge. We know it's Avenge. Need to play some Yeti here. Pop that guy. This is where he screws up here. This is a pretty big mistake here. He should have started trading. Where he had favorable trades and he had Avenge. I would have started trading here if I was him. Don't know why he commits to face so hard. Pretty sure I get to turn this game around really easily here. Kill this guy first, because we want it to go on the Annoyotron. And it does. So, clear that out. Freeze this guy. And play some Acolyte of Pain. Hooray! And now we have the board advantage. So, game turned around pretty quick. If he decided to trade on his turn, you know, yeah, it could have turned out a little bit differently. He's just spamming the board now. We have Flame Strike, Flame Cannon. Not too worried about it. I used to play a lot of Paladin in Arena, and it's definitely really good, but it's not a playstyle that I enjoy a lot. I'm okay with slower control Paladin decks. I find that's more entertaining, but just decks where you just want to get tempo and you have to sequence your cards and you have to draw them. More importantly, draw them. This is the most important part. Draw them in the correct order so that you can build tempo and win the game. That really bothered me because you could have really great Paladin decks, but you would draw stuff in the wrong order. You would have awkward curves and you'd be wasting mana, and that's how, like, it's that easy to lose the game when you're that committed to an aggro strategy. So I ended up getting kind of annoyed with that, and I play less Paladin now. But it's still really good, and if that's your style, you know, you want to kind of go a little bit all in and hope that you get to tempo people out. You can play like bigger control kind of decks too, but
Reporting for duty.
I don't know. We're not gonna Flame Strike here. He's down to one card, so I don't really have faith that he's got enough burst to take me out. Alright, leave him with some 1/1s. Not too bad. My deck's definitely so mid-range heavy that I have a lot of faith going into, you know, later parts of the game that I'm going to be able to beat people, because I think my late game is better. So you get some Justice, some Guardian of Kings. He might think he's won here, but I have enough to figure it out. Now we have 4 cards up, he has none. Including a Arcane Intellect, a Counterspell. This game is pretty over here. Need a pretty sick sequence of draws to win. Play some Gurabaji. I'll play Swords of Path first, because we'll see if we can draw off these cards. Then we'll play some Gurabashi. And we have Pyroblast. So, good to go with that. And we just play the game from here. You know, training out, knowing we have Pyroblast to have a huge burst turn if we need it. Zengen's like okay here, but he's completely lost control of this game. Point where he needs like Consecrated Quality or Venging Craft or like Tyrion or just something pretty crazy to get back into it. Chugga chugga. This turn may seem a little weird, but since I have Pyroblast and I know I'm so ahead, I can afford to just lose this to one of his 1/1s. I want to get damage here, because we're pretty close to killing him. Gurbachi's gonna be just a monster.
Frost wolves stand ready.
And we have the counter spell, so we're pretty safe. I think I show him the might of Stormwind. Finish him off from there. So yeah, this game's pretty straightforward. If he would have did his plays differently and had one turn when he had board advantage, might have been able to do something different. If he was going back looking at his stuff, that's definitely the one point. Look at. Could have pinged my guy for extra damage, don't really need it. Yeah, just ping his guy. And he plays 6/6. And that's the game.
The victory.
He knows it too. He just concedes. Ah, the Mage mirror match. Always really fun to play.
Will tear you apart.
Lots of play to this match, that's for sure. Playing around flame strikes and removal. Who can get early board position, saving your fireballs, using your fireballs. Ton of play to this matchup in Arena. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun to play because I'm very experienced with Mage. Played a lot of Mage in Arena. Super fun. Also, what I think is the strongest class. What I think is still the strongest class until every class gets something similar to Flame Strike. Flame Strike is just way too strong in Arena. It's so good. Giant board clear at common definitely makes Mage a very formidable class. So play some Apprentice here. I do this so I get the 1 mana Flame Cannon next turn. So I can Flame Cannon his guy and play my Snow Chugger if he decides to ping my guy here. If he has a 1-drop, or just ping his guy and play my... to play Spider Tank. So we're already ahead on board here, which is nice. Always nice to jump out early with that Mage. I think I draw Polymorph here, and I use it because no easy way to deal with that Water Elemental. So we're just gonna Polymorph over here and move on. I do take a little bit of time to come to this decision because maybe some next turn potentially wrecks me. I was pretty sure that that was his card that he was relying on to stabilize, so we're gonna let him not do that and make this game very difficult for him. Well, I decided to, you know, he has the second one. We have a Flame Cannon and we throw our guy into it. That's okay. Make sure to play first here so we can still play our Yeti. Still ahead, still pressuring him. I'm really hoping I see Pyroblast off that top of the deck sooner rather than later at this point.
Someday I'll be just like you.
I think I'm gonna need that card to win this game. Ends up fireballing my Yeti, which is a good choice here. That's a play he needs to make. The duplicate. Strong draw. So I put him in a position here where he's got to let me get my double spider tanks, or he loses his guy for free. Unless he decides he just wants to no, he trades in here. Kinda has to do that. And spider tank's so good. So good.
Squire, attend me.
Let's see, Silver Hat Knight. So instead of playing double spider tank, I'm going to Cone of Cold. So I don't let him establish board presence on me. Also helps to have Flame Strike, so we can set a nice Flame Strike up for next turn. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say here. Again, I don't think my Mage deck is the best Mage deck, so I can definitely lose Mage Mirrors. Especially the people that have Fireballs. Fireball is super important in Mage. Almost as important as Flame Strike.
What to do? What to do?
Yeah, I can definitely lose here. I mean, I've had mage decks that are absolutely crazy, like 5 fireballs, 3 mana worms, 4 frost bolts. Like, you can definitely run into those kind of decks. Not necessarily in those numbers, but if they have enough of those cards and mana worms and freeze, I mean, you just create crazy decks, kill your opponents super fast. Trade out here. So we're still ahead, still looking for that Pyroblast. This game's looking pretty good for us.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Gadget San Marino. Alright. Gives us a nice juicy trade for a Stormwind champion. Or even better, Flame Cannon. You don't have to take any damage on our Spider Tank.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Aha! Great board position here. So, yeah, not a whole lot to say. Wish I had some more GvG stuff to talk about that a bit more in my deck, like the Blast Mage. We do have a few mechs in this deck, so we could have definitely made the Blast Mage work. Love playing Blast Mage. I think that card's super strong. In future arena runs, I'm sure I'll draft it and I'll show you guys the potential of that card. I think that card's one of the best cards in arena. It's just so strong. At worst, it's 4 damage to your opponent's face right away, and it also gives you a 5/4 for 4 mana. At best, it can like kill one guy, set up another guy to die to a ping, and give you the 5/4. Oh, it's so good. It's such a strong card. You do have to, of course, have that mech on board to make it work, but there's plenty of good mechs like Spider Tank and Mech Warper, and we have the Snow Chugger with the synergy. Of course, Harvest Golem. I don't really like that they made Harvest Golem a mech, even though it makes sense. It just makes that card even stronger. But yeah, we win this one, move on to the next one. 5 wins pretty quickly.
Jaina versus Jaina.
Well, another mage matchup here.
You asked for it.
Yeah, I like
My
playing
magic
these. They can be
will
kind of
tear
difficult,
you
and
apart.
I know Mage is such a great class, but they're pretty fun to play. It's a good approach to take. Don't know if I want Shade here. At the risk of just drawing big expensive stuff, I decided to keep it. And I do draw 2 other big expensive cards. So if I mulled that and it was like a Frost Elemental or something, would have had like super slow hand. So it ends up working out that I decided to keep it. This is Zombie Chow. Alright. Hang away. Really slow start for my hand this game, so just have to hope he doesn't have a crazy draw. Take some damage. Heal it up later. That's really good. Having a 2-drop there could have been pretty devastating for us. This way I get to just play Shade. GvG Yeti now, so we're looking a lot better. We can stabilize a bit. Yeah, okay, curve now. I mean, so we have Yeti and Kodo.
May my ancestors watch over you.
He plays that thing. Now here, I'm not 100% convinced this is a misplay. I just play Yeti and I don't kill his Tauren Chieftain. My thinking behind this at the time was that it forces him to ping the Tauren Chieftain, and he already showed me he didn't have a 2-drop, so he can't advance his board anymore, so he just stuck with a Zombie Chow against my going to be 4/4 Shade. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is right or not, but it's what I decide to do. So, I mean, he's a little confused now because he doesn't quite understand why I'm giving a free Yeti. He didn't think it through enough, so he takes a long time to make this play.
I wonder.
The other thing behind this too is I have a Kodo, so I can just kill the Zombie Chow, go back to full health-ish, and attack with a 4/4 and have a pretty dominating board here. Versus if I cleared it, he pinged my guy. You know, maybe he's got a Frost Nova or a Frostbolt to clean up my Yeti with the Zombie Chow. So I don't know. I like this line of play. Mostly because it guarantees, like pretty much guarantees that he's not going to advance his board at all here. Like I said, I think he was a little bit confused there. He took a long time for that turn. So, I mean, easiest play here. It's like we intended. Definitely gonna attack here. So, I'm pretty happy about that.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Ends up killing her guy. He got the flame cannon Reno and the duplicate. Pretty nice here. Pretty good for us. Really like flame cannon. Oh, it's so good. 4 damage for 2 mana is so strong. Especially in a deck that already has all kinds of other removal spells. Like, it just gives you better options to remove stuff. So you don't have to use a Frostbolt and a Ping. You know, for 4 mana, you can use 2 mana instead. So he's in a lot of trouble here. I do decide to polymorph that. Once again, pretty good position. We're ahead, we have lots of life. Not a lot in danger of him just chaining fireballs and killing us. We have a strong hand too, Stormwind and Counterspell. Have the sheep to clear things. So, game's looking pretty good. I was kind of a little bit surprised, to be honest, how well this deck did. I didn't expect to get that far. I think we are pretty weak to really aggressive strategies. I got kind of lucky and dodged those. I never really hit those. So he plays an Ananitis here. It's like, whoa. I don't have a good way to deal with this, so I'm just going to have to, you know, give him his 2 for 1. Because of how he's played this game too, this is important. I'm almost certain he has at least 1 spell. I mean, probably 2. So that's one way I could lose this game. If I give him 2 free spells, or I give him 2 free fireballs, and he kills my stuff with his spells and still has an Ananitis. That's a really easy way to lose this game. So I have to clear it. If the game played out differently, like if he curved out and he played all his stuff, I already saw a spell or something, I wouldn't be as convinced that I had to kill this right now. It's unfortunate, but okay. So we play the counterspell here. Set up protection for our Stormwind next turn, depending on what he does. Also drew the Pyroblast, which is nice. We have the 2 secrets here now. And I don't think he's got the chance to test for Vaporize, so he's kind of in a tricky spot here.
Blood and plunder.
Play some pirate.
Shall not fall.
Alright.
Behold the might of Stormwind.
Because we have duplicate and protection, like, I'm not really worried here. I mean, worst case scenario, you know, he's gonna give us 2 Stormwind champions, which seems like pretty good deal. Really nice to have the secret protection up. It makes playing this turn really hard for him, because he wants to test for that Vaporize too.
What to do?
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
So I play some Frostwolf, stand in some ready. Feel like that pause there, he was almost expecting Vaporize. I think he ends up kind of awkwardly frostbolting or trying to frostbolt my guy. Can't remember here. Or no, I just end up trading. Yeah, never mind. That's a different game.
Time runs out on me.
Once again, this guy's taking a lot of time for his turn, so we could assume that his hand's pretty awkward. And then he's having a tough time dealing with all this stuff. Clear this guy out. Now, you could not play this here if you wanted to. But I mean, I really think there's a good reason. We're fine with getting duplicate for that for now. Does not really bother us. He also has to spend 2 mana to ping it. And it brings him that much closer to dying to our Pyroblast if we get a Storm 1 hit in, so.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
He maybe wanted to test for Counterspell first there. That ends up kind of sucking for him. But we have to go face here because we have Pyroblast. Not really too concerned about dying. Just playing him out of minions. Hopefully we'll have to kill him next turn.
It's time for a little blood.
I don't want to play into Flame Strike too bad, so I end up just playing the 2 here. See what he does. Yeah, our opponent definitely had a really awkward draw this game. So hard for him to play this one out, and then we used that knowledge and kind of abused him a bit for it. We're pretty confident you have a whole lot going on. And again, when you take this, like, these super stally turns, generally means you have no good options. You're just trying to make the best. I always find it funny when people do this and they like have a really good play. So normally when you have a really good play, it's very obvious and you just slam it right away. That's kind of funny. People take forever. So he's just dead here. Like I said, pretty confident he had nothing. And his best play is to pray for Demolisher killing it. And we Pyroblast him, push him off. Getting a lot of wins with Pyroblast. Really nice. And move on to the next game. We're at 6 wins now. Get to play some Druid here. This is a pretty interesting game. I don't agree with how my opponent plays this game, but it ends up working out for him. This is how I don't like to play Arena. I know some people like to play Arena, like how this guy's about to play this game, but I'm not a fan. I think it's pretty inconsistent. Decided to keep these 2 cards. Draw more expensive cards. Great. Web Lord. Okay, doesn't do anything. Coin Yetis. That got going on. Really strong play.
Do you like to play with fire?
This kind of sucks here because I'm pretty confident he's got like a swipe to deal with my guy. So I decided not to play the Yeti here. We both play Yetis. My hand's okay. Like, I do have a Flame Strike, so not looking too bad here. I think this might be the turn he starts going crazy. I remember. Yeah, this guy just starts going super all in on stuff. Like, leaving a lot of possibilities for him to get just completely wreck this game. Like, what if I just go Bomb Lobber here on my turn if I had it? Like, oh, maybe get that Yeti, kill it. Or Arcane Missile. There's a lot of good stuff I could have had here. Cone of Cold. He gets rewarded for this like hyper aggressive play. Now, he may not have had anything else, but the way he plays the rest of the game, and I think he did, like, this guy's just all in, and plays around absolutely nothing. I mean, it's fine, you're gonna win some games because of it, but you're also gonna lose horribly if you run into the cards that kill you. Like, if you put yourself in a scenario when you're ahead that you could just die to one card, you're kind of screwed. My Flame Strike's pretty good here. The problem is he keeps playing like this the entire game. I don't have the necessary cards to punish him. So I know there's definitely some people who play like this and have a little, like, some success. I just think it's hard to be consistent if this is how you decide to play your games. You just spam stuff, pray that your opponent has nothing. I mean, that turn's fine. It's really that Yeti play that really, it's like, really strange. There's so many things that could have just wrecked him there. I mean, we're at a point now I really don't have good options. So I'm gonna look for some more, draw some cards. Also could have played Shattered Sun Cleric there. The way this game plays out, I don't think it really mattered.
Tazdingo! Yes!
Spam stuff, Power of the Wild again. There's a point here too where I could have had Blizzard and then he would have lost the game, being this far ahead too. Like, yeah, I don't know, I guess you can play like this, get rewarded, but that's okay. We lose this game, even though our opponent played what I think is poorly, but that's okay. I'm not too salty about it. You can also kind of chalk it up to like an RNG kind of lot, like in that category. You do run into these people sometimes. In my future arena runs, you'll definitely see I have a win rate against these people that's pretty high. You'll see me have answers and just destroy people who play like this. Like, it makes no sense. Like, when you play and you're this far ahead, I don't agree with how he played, but oh well. The second loss. Almost at 7 wins though, so it's okay. Lots of mages in this mage run today. This game's awesome, so if you're thinking about going to something else, I suggest you stick around. This game's pretty good. Good example of mage v mage. What can happen. I think the next 2 games too, I'm not 100% sure. Kind of crazy. Also, you know, if you're liking these videos, make sure to subscribe, like the video, leave some comments if you have questions. I try to respond to everyone who has questions pretty quickly, as best as I can. Make a point of doing that, so feel free to do that. I'm going to be making tons of videos like this. Like, the goal of this channel is to try to teach you guys how to get better at Hearthstone. In, you know, arena, and constructed, you know, maybe some tips on how to build your collection, things like that. A lot of things, you see questions all the time, like the most common questions in Hearthstone. You know, oh, it's so hard to free to play. I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to get good at arena, which clash should I use, which meta, I don't know if I should make changes to this deck, and there's so many questions in Hearthstone to answer, so I'm trying to, you know, make this channel help answer some of them at least. I'm going to use a fireball here. So it's pretty good for him, fireball for Yeti. All the flame cannon in this game. My hand's really weak. Most likely I... Ugh. I'm starting to dislike Slick Belcher a lot. I think that card's maybe a little too good. It's just so annoying to deal with. Even if you have silence, it's still a 3/5. Almost always takes 2 pieces of removal, or like a minion and a removal, and you have to attack with your minion.
One shot.
So he's going really aggressive here. I mean, this is fine. We have all the flame cannons, so... And this guy... Take this one out. Or, no, I decided to save the flame cannon here. Just because I have the Cone of Cold, and I'd like to kill that with Cone of Cold if I can. Yeah, but this game ends up being, like, pretty crazy. Lots of back and forth. He's about to take a pretty early lead here. But not attacking with his Tiger there was big mistake. He's pretty susceptible to Flame Strike now, which I do have, and I will use. I get 2 stealth minions, so I get a lot of value here, and I can put the Yeti at 1 health to ping away. Pretty greedy of him to not attack with his Tiger.
I am ready.
And here's my awesome Cone of Cold he sets up for me. I feel like I almost always want 1 Cone of Cold in my Mage decks. I love this card sometimes. It's so strong when it's good. The fact that it freezes too means that it's almost always going to have some nice utility. Even if you don't get to kill minions. Big fan of Cone of Cold. A lot of times you don't want more than 1, but having 1 is always nice. Big old Tonto. We have polymorphs in this deck out the wazoo though, so I'm not too worried. I can just freeze it for now. Get rid of that Divine Shield. He's also down to like almost no cards, so this is where the game kind of starts to turn around in my favor as far as life total goes. He runs out of gas to kill me.
Your magic shall not save.
I'm not sure how many fireballs he had, but maybe fireballing Yeti for him was just not correct. Because Fireball would have won in this game at a different point. Drawing that silence there is so strong for him. Also going face here with that guy probably would have been a lot better. Deal the 7 damage. Don't think he needed to trade out here. I didn't think this went through that much. I thought I had to gamble on the flame cannon. Forgot that I could just rocketeer his guy. Probably still would have made this play anyway. There's that card that I don't think is very good. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I'm not giving it enough credit. So, a pretty good spot here, have the Mirror Entity. You play a copy of. That's okay, it's not the greatest. He does this really awkwardly too, if I remember. Hey, pings my face instead of my guy. Like, what? I don't understand why he did that. He does kind of screw up a bit here, like sometimes. If he could have made a couple different attacks at certain points, pretty sure he would have won this game.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
He just didn't have enough faith in my deck that I could come back. But I know I have Pyroblast, and I'm down to, you know, every turn I get closer to drawing it. Sooner than later. He only has that one fireball, he's in a lot of trouble. This is a really fun mage game. Like, come back from all the way from this position here. Get the 7 wins too, so it's extra sweet. Put the counter spell up because I don't want to get flame striked. Kind of sucks that he gets to burn my counterspell for free with a duplicate there. Do this first because I want to draw. Ends up working out because I'd rather play that. And yeah, that's how we end up getting to 7 wins. Anyways, with this deck, pretty exciting mage game. I keep my cool here, and I don't get frustrated. Pretty easy to tilt off when you get this low, and your opponent's just waiting to draw fireballs and stuff. Alright, move on to the next game here. And more mages. Mages all day today.
My magic will tear you apart.
So, this is the last game. End up losing this one. Still think it's important to show the losses in the arena runs. Once again, you see where you went wrong, what happened, what did you lose to, things like that. Plus, I want to show you guys what I open here. Everyone always likes to open the packs and get arena rewards.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Pretty decent opener here. Of course, playing the apprentice first allows us to flame cannon this guy, play our guy, attack, so get a pretty good board position early.
Powering up! Portals online!
So, pretty good back warper draw for him there. The top decks. This sucks, because I want to trade into that mech warper and then flame cannon, but then I don't have enough mana to play spider tank. So, kind of awkward. What I'm doing here is flame cannon first, see what I hit, and then playing spider tank, I think. I think. Tricky turn here.
What to do? What to do?
Kind of salty how this sequenced out a bit. I got lucky with the flame cannon.
Me?
Trade there. Still have a really strong board position.
Your magic shall not save you.
Who you want me killed?
So trade out here. Game's going pretty well so far. And you may be thinking it's kind of surprising that I ended up losing this game. You do get really far ahead here. But that's how it happens. I mean, it happened to the guy I played last game. He got super far ahead, but somehow managed to lose anyways.
Ready to ride. Taste my steel.
Get him all the way down to 10. Look for that pyroblast. Always looking for that pyroblast.
I've got a huge
I think this is when his sequencing of cards starts to get kind of crazy here. Tough call what to do here.
What to do? What to do?
Decided to freeze this guy. Gonna play Gurabashi here.
Death does not scare me. The frost wolves stand ready.
So we get him all the way down to 3 life this game. I think if I started pinging face here or the next turn I could have won. Which I maybe should have done in retrospect considering I had so much life.
I'll show them. I'll show
But then I'm just dead to heal if he ever heals, because if I let him get a crazy board. The thing too is I draw a lot of cards this game. I never hit my finisher. I definitely should have started pinging face here or the last turn. So it is kind of a mistake. I was expecting him to heal though, or have ice block or something. The thing is, I'm not so far behind on board that I still can't get back into it. So I try to stabilize a bit here. I'm just not a fan of the sit there and ping face strategy. That's what the guy tried to do to me last season. He, you know, got punished really hard for it. Now I start. It's too late though. Too late.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
My magic will tear you apart.
Still don't think I would have won, because if I would have started pinging on that one turn, I wouldn't have pinged his dwarf there, so I don't know. I don't think it would have been correct. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this arena run. End up getting 7 wins. It's okay. You could argue maybe I misplayed there. I'm not 100% sure if it was a misplay or not. I think it's kind of close. Playing the Gurabashi too earlier. But it wasn't the greatest deck, got 7 wins, so I was pretty happy about that. And we definitely misplayed pretty hard in that early Paladin game. Could have won that one. Get a decent pack here too. 2 rares and an epic. So that's going to be all for this video. Make sure if you like the videos, you subscribe. Check out my other content on the channel. It's great. Lots of similar kind of stuff, helping you learn the game and get better at Hearthstone. So yeah, that's going to be it for me.